So much has happened. Pokemon news-wise, so much has happened. And I don't even know where to begin. I initially just I'm first of all, don't expect like fancy editing here or like me showing gameplay clips or whatever they showed at the conference. That's not what I'm going to do here. I don't have a computer, at least that I'm able to do it for or do it with anyway. So I just wanted to give out like my thoughts, my opinions, my reactions to the whole Pokemon media event that just happened not too long ago, announcing a lot of different games for Pokemon, especially the Switch titles, because it's kind of interesting how it just led to a huge like, I don't know, there's like this huge like argument going on in the Pokemon community because of these games. But let's just start from the beginning. So there was a media event the other night, and I remember being glued to my phone, going on YouTube, like keeping up with like other YouTubers that were like presenting, like doing like a live stream of all these tweets that are going around from Pokemon Company, from Japanese Pokemon, from Eurogamer, and all of them. Basically, there was a media event that Pokemon held, that they were going to announce all their games their plan for the next year and a half, basically, or next year, 2 years, whatever. And it was only meant for those specific companies that were invited, and then they were tweeting out the news as it was happening, and then they finally released the video of the conference afterwards. Everything should be on Pokemon, on the Twitter page at least, so you can go check it out there. But I mean, everyone's pretty much covering it at this point. But so they announced a lot of different games. The first one was kind of interesting. It's called I think it's what is it, Pokemon Quest, something like that. Pokemon Quest, I think. It's kind of like a spin-off game, which I should be careful that we're using words spin-off game, but that is available right now for the Switch, and it's going to be coming on mobile phones sometime in the summer. I think by the end of June, something like that. Basically, think of Minecraft and Pokemon, and essentially you're on this island that you have to go explore, and you pick a starter Pokemon, whether it be like Eevee, Pikachu, or Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, whoever, and it just like auto moves your Pokemon, but you can choose to attack. I don't know how many of you guys play like Digimon World, but like the first Digimon World and the most recent Digimon World, not Cyber Sleuth, but the other one that came out like about a year ago, where you basically just give your Digimon attacks to do over and over again as they just kind of move on their own. That's basically how this game works. You just give it attacks, it does it, and then it kind of like moves on its own. You can choose to like strafe away or something like that. It was interesting, but it's all Minecraft world. You use this Pokemon to explore all these different parts of the island, and you just try to battle all the Pokemon, and I guess you can get stronger and level up and things like that. It's really interesting. I only saw like maybe a couple minutes of gameplay, and I don't know how I feel about it. I have to try it out myself. I think I'll try it out over the weekend. I don't think it's a game that I could get too hooked on, but I could be wrong, because when I was watching some this one YouTuber's gameplay on it, it seemed like it could be addicting enough to want you to keep playing, at least until the next set of Pokemon games come. It's an interesting one. I don't know how many people are actually be going crazy for it. I honestly think that is more suited for a mobile game, which I think that's what its goal was anyway. So all those like the phone gamers, I don't know what you want to call them, mobile gamers, are the ones that are probably going to enjoy it the most, especially the kids. The kids will get a kick out of it. It's great. I mean, that's how it looks, very Minecraft, cartoony. It's perfect for them. So that was the first game they announced. It was very interesting. It was kind of like a curveball. No one kind of expected that coming, but hey, a lot of people kind of digged it. But obviously, people were anticipating the Switch games, and that's what they announced next. The next Switch games, which is Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which I mean, while I was watching it, I was just like gripping onto all the excitement I had, thinking, oh my gosh, this game is everything that we or I wanted like red, blue, and yellow to be when I wanted that kind of like I wanted that depth of graphics and gameplay into what when I started playing Pokemon. Like that's how I imagined Pokemon to be. So obviously at this point you can look up all the stuff for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and if you look at the trailer, it's an amazing game in the sense that okay, so it's a remake of Yellow. I think that's the right word. A remake, yeah, a remake of Yellow. The graphics are way better than the 3DS. They're very polished. They're very like cartoony but detailed enough to kind of put you into the right environments. And the biggest thing is that it's a Pokemon Go integration. So you capture these Pokemon like you would in Pokemon Go. Your Joy-Con controller acts like a Pokeball where you'll just basically flick it and it'll throw a Pokeball and you capture the Pokemon, or you don't battle the Pokemon. You don't battle at all. Now you can battle other trainers and their Pokemon, but you don't battle a Pokemon in the wild to capture it. It's just like Pokemon Go. And what's cool is that once you capture that, you can actually send it into Pokemon Go if you would like to. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Or you can send it from a Pokemon you caught from Pokemon Go into Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So obviously, like Niantic and Game Freak must have worked quite a while on this kind of game to make sure that it would work smoothly between the two. And what's so crazy about this game is that it's actually causing a lot of controversy because a lot of people are kind of disappointed, and not necessarily anymore that it's a Kanto remake again, because apparently a lot of people were complaining that it was a Kanto, even though, I mean, you have to admit, like, if you are a true diehard Pokemon fan, then you understand that the roots were from Kanto. Red, blue, and yellow were Kanto based. Even gold and silver, after you were done with Johto, you could go to Kanto. Like, you were able to go back and forth. We weren't done with Kanto until we got to Gen 3 for Hoenn. So, I don't know. I don't understand why people are complaining about it. Like, I mean, what? So we got Fire Red, Leaf Green. Yeah, we went back to Kanto. Pokemon Go, we had Kanto Pokemon first. But I mean, like, what else more do we have that's Kanto, that's people are just being bombarded? Like, I think it's just a lot of controversy of the Gen 1ers, the people that have been playing Pokemon since the release of Pokemon in the US versus those that are now playing Pokemon since Sun and Moon or Pokemon Go. And I'm not, and I just want to clarify, I'm not trying to like bash on Pokemon Go players or anyone for that matter. I'm trying to create some sense here, or at least trying to make sense out of this situation so people maybe are a little bit more understanding of each other's perspectives. Because here's the thing. Me being a Gen 1er, I guess if you want to call it that, I played Blue version the year it was released, and I loved and played every single Pokemon game after the fact. Now, I'll admit I haven't played the other games like Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Rumble. I didn't really fall into those. I just love the RPG games, Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, all of those games, all the way up until Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And I love Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee so much that it just brings back, I think, the originality and what Pokemon really is meant to be, in the sense that you are going on a journey. You have a partner Pokemon. You go on this adventure with your Pokemon, and you go out and you just go capture more Pokemon. You train Pokemon. You evolve your Pokemon. And that's exactly what this game is trying to bring back, is that original concept of what Pokemon is supposed to be about. Now, the thing is, it's very, very simplified. it's so simplified that wild Pokemon, you don't run into wild Pokemon anymore. You can see the Pokemon out there, and you can just kind of navigate yourself around, which I think is fine. First of all, I think it's cool that just Pokemon are just running around like that. I think that's awesome. That's great. That's kind of what I've always wanted anyway, was to see Pokemon just like kind of running around, and you know, you can go towards one if you see one, like, oh hey, there's a Clefairy over there, like I want to go capture that Clefairy. I think it's awesome. And the thing is, there's also co-op to it too, right? So you can have the second Joy-Con, someone else pop in, there'll be two of you in the game going on this adventure together, capturing Pokemon together, battling Pokemon together, battling other trainers. Like, it's awesome. Like, yeah, it's simplified, but I think what it's trying to do is, like, not necessarily remake a game, but like rebrand. I don't know if that's even the right word. Remind people what Pokemon is about, but more importantly, have this newer generation of people that are just coming into Pokemon understand what Pokemon is supposed to be about. And I just think it's a great idea. But again, there's this whole controversy versus diehard fans, and diehard fans, and I know I said it like 3 times, but it's weird how that makes sense if you think about it, or if you've seen all the arguments. And then like the Pokemon Go players, because then there's a whole thing where Pokemon Go players are just completely oblivious to how long Pokemon has been around. Because apparently since Pokemon Go released, or is announcing, even though they released Alolan Executor, announced that they were going to release Alolan Pokemon, but then people don't understand that, I guess, those Pokemon aren't real, or they're fakes, or they look at other types of Pokemon and are like, oh, those are leaks, or Darkrai is not a real Pokemon. And it's all because of Niantic. Niantic is like just throwing designs. And Niantic didn't make Pokemon. Game Freak made Pokemon. Pokemon Company, Game Freak, they all made Pokemon. So people don't realize that there was all these previous generations. Generation 1, 2, 3, 4. People are claiming like, oh hey, I can't wait till Darkrai comes out, or I'm waiting to save up some candy for my Murkrow to evolve into Honchkrow, and they're like, oh, Honchkrow is not even like a real Pokemon. I'm like, but you have to understand that Pokemon have been around. There's over 800 something Pokemon. Like, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna know what they're talking about if they're saving up candy for a Pokemon. But then again, you have some people that are making up Pokemon left and right. So then people are believing those are the real Pokemon, when it's so confusing. That's how you probably didn't understand in like the last minute of me talking. That's how confusing the Pokemon community is right now. There's this huge divide, and I think like these Pokemon Go players, the people that just only played Pokemon Go to begin with, and then maybe bought Sun and Moon with like playing those, are not understanding, or not paying due respects to the original Pokemon games that started this whole craze 20 some odd years ago. I think it's been just 20 years. I don't know. 20, 22, something like that. And it's just so crazy how much these games, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, are causing that divide even more so. And I don't know if I can say anything to help fix it, or to help, kind of guide people, but here's the thing. Pokemon has been around for over 20 years. There is an initial starting point for everybody. So those of you that are jumping in now with Pokemon Go or Sun and Moon or whatever have to understand that this is not where it started. It started all the way over here. Not over here in the far end of the reaches, the corners of space or whatever. It started over here with everyone else that have grown up with Pokemon over the 20 years that has been out. So I don't know if people just don't do the research, don't trust certain sites. I mean, Pokebeach, Cerebi, Pokeshopper's merchandise, but those are sites that I follow, and they're legit, they're official. they're not gonna throw fake news. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are throwing fake news left and right. You know, they get one little leak and all of a sudden it's like, boom, this is confirmed, it's official. Okay, so yeah, all the recent leaks and rumors about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee have like kind of come true, but there's still so many things in the past that have been leaked or have been started as a rumor and it was just completely debunked. And yet people just latch on, like people just want that hype, I guess, for some reason. I don't know exactly now where my conversation is trying to go, but I just think people have to stop complaining, have to stop being ignorant, I guess, and realize that Pokemon is an entity that you have to understand from beginning to end, not from over here at this point, like, oh, this looks cool, I want to start here. No, you have to kind of do a little bit of history research and go, okay, hey, this looks neat. Yeah, I don't dig the Game Boy graphics, I guess, because I didn't grow up with it. I love the 3DS graphics. Those are awesome. I can't get into Red and Blue, but I can at least respect what Pokemon or how Pokemon started. And I'm glad that it started this way and led to something this amazing. And so, I mean, that's me. I'm hoping speaking for other people. But again, I can't convince people. I can't persuade people. I don't think this video is really going to do anything for people. This is just how I feel about this whole Pokemon community reacting to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I think the game is great. The game is a great idea, and I want it to do very well. Now, the other part of the argument is that people don't want to accept it as a main series Pokemon. Now, here's the thing. Now, this is where I gotta be careful, because there's main series games and there's core series games. So, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Black and White, X and Y, whatever, we have been used to those games for so long. And people are expecting that type of game again for this year. But then they announced at the conference, hey, you are going to have that RPG game series continue in 2019. But people are saying that now Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are, I guess, spin-offs or are not main series game, even though in the conference they basically said that these were main series games. Who cares about titles? Who cares if it's a main series game or a core game or a spin-off game? It doesn't matter. Can't we just enjoy the fact that we have more games now? That we have more options, other ways to play? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, who cares what it's called? Who cares if it's not like, you know, 2 different colors or 2 different letters? It's still a Pokemon game that embodies the originality, the main idea of what Pokemon was supposed to be, and puts it into this 3D world for everybody to enjoy. Yeah, it's oversimplified, and I can see how people mistake it for being just a kid's game, but it's not just a kid's game. It's for everyone. Their tagline is a play your way. Like, anyone can play it in any way they want, whether they want to go solo, whether they want to play with a friend, whether they just want to, you know, transfer Pokemon into Pokemon Go and just play Pokemon Go from there. Like, it doesn't matter. Just play it any way you want. You are still just going to be doing what Pokemon is meant for you to do, is to befriend a partner Pokemon and go on this adventure together, battle other Pokemon, make new Pokemon friends, and just trade with other people, and just, you know, start making new friends from there. And just, it's just like this, it's like living an entire life almost. And it doesn't matter. It just shouldn't matter what game you play, whether it's a main series game, a spin-off game, or a core game. It's still just a game. So I hate that people are just trying to tie in like, oh, this is not a main series game, or this is not a core game. It does not matter. In the end, it's a Pokemon game. And we always get excited for Pokemon games. There's a huge fan base for Pokemon Rumble and Mystery Dungeon. I was not into that. But I understand that a lot of people are, and I can see why people dig it or why people are into it. So let them be. I'm not gonna like bash down on their games. I'm not, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like start saying like, oh, that's not a real game. Oh, that's just a spin-off game. Who cares? Like, I'm not gonna call Pokemon Rumble or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon side games. They are Pokemon games. That's it. They're Pokemon games. Let that be. Enjoy the games that you want to play. Play it however you want to play it. And it's just crazy like that. And I hope this shows you how much I really love Pokemon, as not just like the card game or the figures or just the video game itself. I love everything about Pokemon and what it's supposed to, or at least what I take it as, what it's supposed to mean to people. Because here's the thing, Pokemon has always had this like intrinsic feature of, you are using this adventure that everyone can have some commonality to enjoy going on this, like, I don't want to say virtual reality, but I mean, you're playing a character that's going on this adventure that makes you want to go on that adventure with, and yet you're still going to make friends along the way. And what's even better is that within the game, you have to trade with other people. Red and Blue, you had to trade between those two versions with someone else to get all 151 Pokemon. So you did make new friends. You went to these events. You just learn to socialize with people. And that's what Pokemon, I feel like, is meant to do, or is meant to help people with, is to help socialize. Is to say, hey, yeah, you can do whatever you want in this game, but keep in mind that it's not just a game you're playing, that it's gonna help life in general. Being able to communicate, being able to help one another, being able to just have that social space, make new friends, enjoy life that way. And then from then on, hey, if you guys find other things that you like, Digimon, or I don't know, you guys have favorite tastes in movies or food, whatever, then great, you just made a lifelong friend. That's what I feel like Pokemon does, is to help people socialize and make friends and enjoy this awesome adventure that makes you want to act it out, that makes you want to forget who cares who's judging you on this. Just go out and just be you. Just do your thing. Again, play your way. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just super tired, like I'm just rambling at this point. I just hate that the community is just so divided, and there's arguments between core and spin-off, and it's like, okay, Pokemon Quest, it's a Pokemon game. I don't care if it's a side game, a core game, an RPG. It's a Pokemon game, and I'm gonna try it out. If I don't like it, great. I mean, not great, but I mean, if I don't like it, then it's not my thing. But I know people are going to love it, so cool. It's still a good game, I'm sure. It looked like a fun game to play, but if it's not something I'm gonna spend hours of my life on, I'm not gonna go out and say, hey, this game sucks, it's not a real game anyway. Like, no, that's not fair. It's still a Pokemon game that I'm going to play, that's going to buy me some time until I get Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So I am all for those two Switch titles. I'm gonna pick it up as soon as I play it. I'm excited too, because I'm excited that the Joy-Con, the second one, can be a second player, which I'm planning on like having my daughter play with me, and she's only like 3, but I'm pretty sure she can figure out basic controls. I mean, it's so simplified, and that's what's great, is that now you can introduce anybody into Pokemon. So whether it's within family like me, father daughter, or maybe an aunt, or not aunt, well, maybe, I don't know, if you have an aunt that wants to play Pokemon with you, great, bring them in. Or if you're an uncle and you have a nephew that wants to play, or niece that wants to play, great, bring them in, teach them Pokemon. That's what I think this game is supposed to be, is to bring everyone back onto the same page and understand what Pokemon is supposed to be about. And then 2019 hits with a core RPG, it doesn't matter, a Pokemon game that we have all grown up with in that same style, which everyone now is going to understand. Okay, now that we understand the basics of Pokemon games, or how to play Pokemon, now we can go into this much bigger adventure and embrace this storyline and be able to capitalize on what we've learned from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That's what I think. I'm excited for this entire year and a half and this year of legendary Pokemon. It's just great. Everything about Pokemon has been great ever since that 20th anniversary, and from the year of mythicals to the year of legendaries. And the TCG sets have been amazing. It's just, everything is awesome. I am all for Pokemon Quest. I'm going to try it out. Maybe I'll give you guys my opinions on it next week. And then Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I'm ready. I've been checking pre-orders because there's like a Pokeball Plus, like a little Pokeball that you can just kind of throw or move around, and plus you can transfer like your Pokemon. I think maybe it's just your partner Pokemon, Pikachu or Eevee, but I'm just gonna say partner Pokemon into it. Like the Pokewalker from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that was an awesome accessory, and I'm glad they're bringing it back into this. So you bring it there and you kind of travel with it. Maybe it'll earn experience points, maybe not. I don't know what exactly it'll do, but it's just cool to kind of like, hey, I can have this hanging on my belt loop or on my keys or something like that, and you know, I'm still playing Pokemon that way. So I'm excited about that. Been looking up pre-orders for that constantly. If someone knows about a pre-order for Pokeball Plus, please let me know, because I want to make sure I get one on the day of release. And then I'm gonna start with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I'm nothing against Eevee. I like Pikachu a little bit more than Eevee. So I'll be starting with Pikachu, and then depending on what I need to complete with that, then I'll play, you know, Let's Go Eevee, and then I'll just be all set. Guys, I want to stream it. I need to save up for a capture card because I don't have one. If you guys can actually hook me up with a cheap capture card, let me know, please. Reach out to me. And I want to be able to stream 3DS games because I kind of want to go back. I've been wanting to go back and finish Red and Blue on the digital 3DS store, and then get Gold and Silver and Crystal, and finish all those games, and basically work my way back up again to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and then that'd be cool if I can stream it. So you know, if you guys can find or know of a good deal where I can get I guess the 3DS has to be modded in order for you to have a capture card on it. I don't know. You guys share with me the details, because you guys probably know more about that than I do. But yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot. I'm excited. I'm all for all these games that are coming out. Thumbs up for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Thumbs up for Pokemon Quest. Thumbs up for the next big RPG game for 2019. I'm all for it. Sorry if this went way longer than I thought. Again, I know this is not some fancy edited version, but I just feel like the more opinions that are out there, I just feel like I have strong opinions about it, and it's very common with a lot of the long-term Pokemon fans, and I just think there needs to be some sort of understanding. So sorry guys if I rambled on too long. I know it's like half an hour video now at this point, and if you've stuck with me all the way through up until now, thank you. Appreciate it. You're a diehard fan, or you know, I thank you so much for sticking around this long to listen to me. But yeah, that's it. That's again, those are all my thoughts, opinions, reactions. I'm sure I'm missing something here and there, but another time, another day. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do. I'll see you on the next video.